The following is a presentation on Burberry and Ted Baker. The members of this group are Yewande Olubodan, Hassan Yousaf, Belinda Adumanu, and Blandine Malondo. One of the two companies in question is Ted Baker. Ted Baker is a British designer label which ranges its products through the menswear, womenswear and children's wear, along with fragrances and watches also. It is also based its headquarters in London, UK. However, Burberry Group is a luxury fashion house as compared to Ted Baker. It designs and markets and sources outwear also within men's, women's and children's ranges. Also, Burberry distributes its products, being a global brand, overseas such as Europe, Spain and America, and its headquarters are also situated in London, UK. Moving on to the industry life cycle. This is a framework which focuses on those economic mechanisms that causes firms to enter the industry and possibly exit due to the distribution of power between them. The first phase of this is the pre-market phase. This is where a product is produced more as a hobby or luxury rather than commercial purposes. In regards to Burberry, this could be seen when Burberry was formed in 1856, where it positioned its brand as a luxury brand with an image that would remain in the consumer's mind. Ted Baker, on the other hand, has only been around since 1987, and the global brand came around to Ted whilst he was fishing. Soon after, within only 6 years, Ted Baker has managed to open many stores and also become privately owned, in which it hopes to create further interest to build and grow further. The introductory phase. This phase goes beyond the product being produced for just luxury purposes and rather for commercial use. In regards to Burberry, they looked at new avenues after just establishing and had established themselves by the development of the outdoors attire, to which they looked to further diverse into different areas. Ted Baker, on the other hand, in the wake of becoming privately owned, showed real promise, and after launching its range of Baker Women and Ted Baker Light in '95, is hoping to also build on this and reach a wider audience. Now comes the growth phase. This is the main part where efficiency in industry increases and economies of scale are also achieved, forcing smaller companies to be acquired or to exit the industry altogether. Burberry, being a luxury brand, has gone through many changes in the past 10 years and trying to transform itself into a luxury lifestyle brand, but at the same time remain traditional. And this can be seen in 2006-07, where they were 11% up in regards to their records of their goods or to international sales, up with the brand becoming popular between young adults, including its biggest markets being Japan and Spain. Ted Baker, however, only being started up for just over 20 years, it didn't leave themselves a lot of time to enter and establish the market, but after a rapid rise, they managed to open the very first store in '98 on American soil, and also the website tedbaker.co.uk went live. In 2004 was the year where they also took major steps into the territories unknown, such as New Zealand, Australia, to further bolster their brand and growth and reach out to a wider audience. The maturity phase at this point looks no longer at the growth, but the main focus is on technological opportunities which are available. Also, market share is the primary goal of the companies left in the industry. As the business had been involved in a slump, it was Burberry's chance to revitalise themselves, and this was done in '97, where they looked on to nurturing the company to bigger and better things. They also looked to strike a balance between accessibility and identify product values and attributes. Ted Baker, on the other hand, managed to rise to stardom very quickly in the first few years of the business opening, and have since diversed into different areas such as skiwear, sunglasses and eyewear, and it's evident from this that Ted Baker are looking to gain a measure of control amongst their competitors. As with any business, there also comes a decline phase at some point, and this is to do with the revenues possibly declining and the industry as a whole not doing as well as planned. As we can see, for the financial year of 31st March, there was a big slump in profits for Burberry from 62 to 25 million, causing fears of possibly going into liquidation or being bankrupt. As for Ted Baker, as with all the highs, there was bound to be a low, and this was also evident earlier this year with Ted Baker announcing 28-week profit declines despite the higher revenues.
I'm Yewande Olubodan. I'm here to continue on the slides of strategic grouping for Burberry and Ted Baker. This illustrates the group which Burberry and Ted Baker belongs to. Over here, Burberry belongs to the high quality and expensive group, while Baker belongs to the expensive and large group. This is the explanation for the slides. Burberry targets the very luxurious people and the products are quite expensive. Whitehead Baker targets the middle class and quite affordable products. Burberry, basically, they open the stores in national cities where they sell their products. Example, in the UK, Bond Street, Regent Street, Knightsbridge, etc. Whitehead Baker target their market in departmental stores like Debenhams, Selfridges, John Lewis, and online. Burberry and Baker strategic plans. Burberry have a long objective to invest on opening few more stores in top outlet markets and in digital luxury positions as well. And Burberry has a runway show online, and they also reach out to their customers through Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Whitehead Baker is considering expansion in their collections in addition to the opportunities they have to extend the breadth and collection which enhance their offer to their customers. This is the category which both Burberry and Baker relates to. They have a lifestyle of retail in fashion, and the slogan is Burberry and Baker. The unique selling point is the brand, which is distinctive for British sensibility and strong international recognition, and differentiating the brand values across the multi-generation and gender audience. The STP, which is the segment, target group, and positioning. The segment is the elite fashion for males and females in premium segments who appreciate the British clean and smart classic styles, while the target group for both Burberry and Baker are the middle-aged men and women for upper class as well. The positioning is the brand showcasing quality style, where beautiful craftsmanship in contrast with the form of function. The SWOT analysis for both Burberry and Baker. The strength is the granted royal variant for Queen Elizabeth II and the Prince of Wales, and also one of the strengths is that they've got the biggest fashion house in the UK, offering both clothes, perfume and beauty products across the UK. The weakness is the brand can diversify into used everyday fashion, as currently it appears to have too much English appeal. Basically said, Burberry positioning is very, very accessible in the high street and has a low cultural presence. In regards to Ted Baker are quite affordable to very young people because the prices are very, very low as well in regarding to Burberry, which is very, very expensive. The opportunity. They both Burberry and Ted Baker have more of advertising and marketing strategies which increase their visibility, and also global expansion which helps the brand to grow worldwide as well. Threat. The customers of both Burberry and Baker have a high quality bargaining power in switching its cost, and also they face the threat from other competitors of everyday brands like H&M, Peacocks, and New Looks. Over here you can see the competitors for Burberry, like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and Prada. And for Ted Baker, we've got like Jaguar, Reiss, and Hugo Boss. And also we can actually say they've got like other high street retail outlets as well. Personal analysis. This regards to how both Burberry and Ted Baker survived in economic growth. And recently, the Burberry survived a recession which increased the growth of 1.4% in 2009. And also the social. These changes in life also leads to new fashion trends that affect the business in any part of the economy. For example, the fashion-based demands are social-based forces that lead to challenges in increase in demand and supplies for the product. Also, technology. Both Burberry and Baker is extending its web research so that the customer worldwide can view its brand. For example, the company is targeting Chinese shoppers directly by launching a site in China. This is because the target market accounts for 30% of sales in London stores, which is from Burberry websites in 2012. Now moving to process 5 forces. First of all, we've got the bargaining power of customers, which has to do with the low moderate concentration. All customers are individual consumers, which weakens buyers' power. For example, Burberry. The luxurious retailers can differentiate themselves through the styles and varying designs of products offered by the customers. Bargaining power of suppliers. Key suppliers in the luxury goods market are clothing manufacturers and wholesalers, while retailers tend to source from foreign manufacturers, increasing supply fragmentation. Threat of entry of new competitors. This is a very strong concentration of people coming into the industry. For example, the Asian Pacific luxury goods market has shown strong rates of growth in recent years, and also Asian Pacific areas and Chinese and Indian retailers are making headway fast, which increase the industry attractiveness to new entrants. Threats of substitute. This is a very weak point, which the substitute of luxurious goods includes buying directly from the manufacturers, especially with the growth of online sales. The intensity of competitive rivalry. The luxurious goods market is rather fragmented, where there is a room for large numbers of small players, while some retailers selling apparel are high diverse. Mainly, they retain the strong emphasis on clothing, and the rivalries are very, very commercial. The value chain theory. We've got the primary activity, which is the inbound logistics. This includes both outside manufacturing, supply chain, and retail outlets. The outbound logistics has to do with the online selling and obviously the joint ventures. Marketing and sales. By advertising and promoting products in terms of sales helps to attract more customers, and the services as well. This has to do with warranties and repairs for customers after a certain period of time. The secondary activity has to do with procurement, human resources, and technology development. Burberry and Ted Baker financial reports from 2012-2011. The Burberry has had a great year from 2011-2012, which seems to have a total revenue of 24% to £1.857 million. In regards to Ted Baker, the group sales of revenue has increased from 15.4%, and also they've got an exceptional profits to tax up to 10.4%. Recommendation. We thought as a group that Burberry and Ted Baker needs to choose more competitive strategy, which can be either cost strategy or a differentiation strategy in order to ensure a competitive advantage over its competitors. Without an effective competitive strategy, both Burberry and Ted Baker will find it impossible to maintain the advantage and earn more profit. This is the reference. Any questions?